CK versus Pax in the Elite Series. CK pushing their left tower along. Pax needing to regroup. This map really is made for lots and lots of players, so it can be really hard to overtake with such a small team. Especially on this first objective. The strategy really has to be, or the question really is, can you split your attention between both towers, or is it better to just focus on one? CK holding both, it looks like, for the moment, as the majority of the team is on their left, and Soap pushing the right by himself. No one seems to be challenging him, while the left, Pax trying so hard to get the advantage here, but CK holding them off. Very nice work in that 1v3. However, CK, obviously having the numbers there, was able to thin out Pax and keep holding their left there. Meanwhile, Soap on the other side here seems to be doing just fine, slowly moving on his own here. Gross with the crossbow, and Indicud seemed to run away. So now it's just a standoff over on the right side of Soap versus Gross. Neither one wanting to move for fear of what the other might be ready to do. Meanwhile, our other siege tower here moving along very nicely. It's Balrog, Immense, Nildane, and Yabumatron all hold them off on the left. Pax coming back very strong, finally starting to thin them out over on the left here, but too little too late, as CK is able to get that left side tower all the way to the end. That means Soap can now join the fight, as the right side will make its own way. Meanwhile, Pax up on the gatehouse, up on the wall here, getting ready to fortify their position and home in on this side, on their right side, where the siege towers already met the wall and CK can start piling in. Getting very claustrophobic in the gatehouse now. This Pax is whittled down to just one. Indicud all by himself here, and of course being outnumbered in such a small space, there isn't much they could have done. And Quintero finally joining the fight, as holding the gatehouse is easy for Yabumatron, is hiding under the stairs. Meanwhile, Pax Gross looking for anybody lingering behind, as both teams try to hammer out for supremacy. Meanwhile, CK holding their own, and Pax getting thinned out one by one. Indicud with a very nice backstab there. Off from the top floor, but gets himself outnumbered by CK, as they need to now collect the torches to burn down the tents. Pax Tax, very brave going in on that by himself, with Elite Light following shortly behind, trying to 1vx his way into some victory here, into thinning out the numbers. Not working out for him though, as CK is able to overtake and win that little skirmish as well. CK needing to start getting some torches going, as Quintero seems to be focusing mostly on the objective. Pax Tax alone here. Finally, Marab and Indicud rush in to help, followed up by Gross, who is hanging back mostly, trying to swing that short little one-handed axe as an archer, not going so well. Meanwhile, CK, more than half the tents burned with 5.5 minutes to go. Having a pretty easy time with keeping Pax at bay here. Pax really needing to make sure that they group up and get some strategy going for the siege towers in the second siege tower phase here, as it will not be easy to hold these tents. It never is. There's just too many of them. As another goes down, and there go the tents. So very possible that one was a gimme just for kills. As now is definitely strategy time. Now is a really good time with 9 minutes on the clock for Pax to try and get it together. Oh, missed a big special there from Tax. He backed up right. He pulled right up to Immense and Yabumatron, taking out Yabumatron. But can he hold off against Immense? Immense letting out a little laugh there as Soap comes in to join him. Left tower hadn't even gotten started until Balrog got on it. And now on the right, Nildane, Immense, and Soap moving things along on both sides. What is going to be the strategy for Pax to stop them? Because this looks like a bad matchup here. 2 versus 3. We'll see how they hold off on the right side here. Elite trying his best to 1v2 and being overtaken very quickly there. And Gross trying to hold his own. Quintero trying to jump over the top there and getting in front of him instead of behind, but it wasn't enough. Indicut and Tax running over trying to help, and it looks like the whole squad is focusing more on this left side. Meanwhile, the right side just now passing under the Ballista Bridge with Marav trying to get the jump there on Balrog. Short reach versus long reach. Who will get the advantage to take over? Yabumatron, could he get there in time? No. Oh, I spoke too soon. Marav goes down, as he did use that ramp to his advantage here. Elite seem to be switching back and forth trying to stifle CK as much as they can. But it's now got 4 members of CK on the left. One coming down the middle to join them. And on the right, we've got Nildane and Quintero trying to ride right up to the wall. This is where Pax really wants to push on them. But we've only got 3 members, and one of them going down. Elite left on his own, another going down. So 1v3, how will we fare? Down he goes. Pax really needs to slow down these siege ramps now if they want to have a chance to keep CK from going all the way. Because this next objective is really just a king of the hill. It's going to be best team wins. Pax will not have an advantage. Nice horn there from Elite. However, wasn't enough to help out the homies in time, as everyone is pretty much thinned out there. Here we go in the back. Flutterbug and Quintero taking out their opponent over on Pax. And riding that right siege ramp right into the courtyard. They want to get right into that center to start getting those capture points as quickly as they can. It looks like Tax is probably going to get hit with the VIP if this continues. CK holding very well on this courtyard. Yeah, this one will go really quick if there's any kind of advantage or anything. There we have CK taking that king of the hill, making quick work of that courtyard as Pax pours out best they can of the castle to try and slow them down and protect their VIP. CK using some very nice pincers and target switching to get around and flank in that very short distance. And now they're going to be focusing very strongly on their VIP, which is Tax, as we predicted, or as we saw come. I didn't want to say I predicted it, but looked like it was going that way. So now Tax just has to survive. for the next 4 minutes. Some of CK's best members, it looks like. He seems to be doing alright on the 1vx, but as a VIP, your attacks don't get interrupted. And you've got plenty of health. I don't think you run out of stamina either. Oh, he's lit on fire. And that ended pretty quickly. So it looks like we're going to switch roles now. Pax will be on attack. CK will be on defense. Let's see if they have any better luck. CK taking control very early. Clearing out both sides of the tower. Pax having a few members left over on their right side. CK is trying to take over. Elite and Quintero meeting each other inside the tower. Let's see if Marav can get in there in time to help his buddy out. And start pushing this tower along. Pax doing their best to move along on the right, but CK not having it. Balrog with some fancy moves, but that won't help him here as Tax beats him to the punch with the maul. Flutterbug making big waves with the War Axe there, taking down several of Pax's members there, as they are now holding and taking control of the right side. Tax runs in with that maul again, looking to do big damage, but ultimately outnumbered. So we'll head over to the left here, looking from Attack's perspective. Slowly moving this siege tower along, it looks like, with 8 minutes left on the timer. CK, however, trying to take back this left side. Marav standing now on their own. As CK is overwhelmed. Gross making a smart move at first to move to the other tower, but then deciding to hang back. So it looks like they may be communicating and waiting to group up on the left as CK has moved over to the right to gang up on poor Lonely Elite there. As he goes down 3 against 1. Not cool. Pax trickling in, trying to keep CK distracted, it looks like. Meanwhile, on the left, CK seems to also have control. Immense and Quintero holding it down, while the rest of the group heads back over to the right. And Pax trying desperately to move their siege towers along, little by little. Elite, always the hero in this round, fighting desperately to cling on to life there. Tax now holding it down himself. So it looks like he's switched to the War Axe and one-handed sword. But it looks like CK may have held down this right side here. We'll give it a minute to see how Pax does. Yep, down to 1 member. I think we know how this one goes. Yep. So let's move over to the other side. Left side from Attack's perspective. Tax holding off a 1v2. Doing his best against Immense and Balrog, but ultimately outnumbered. CK now holding strong as Pax is trying their best to move side to side and keep CK distracted enough to stay busy as they're holding the right, trying to keep the left outnumbered, because that's really the name of the game here. Target switching and keeping everyone outnumbered. 2v2 here now. Oh, it looks like both go down, and Marav gets picked back up as the rest of Pax is able to rush in and hold on to this left side. Soap trying to look for a place to ambush. And CK starts to find some success here and is now locked in on getting that left side. With only 2 members of Pax holding it down. CK now holding down the left and the right Pax is Unk trying to arch here, it looks like. It might be... Yep, looks like it was a glitch or some kind of issue there. Because who wants to be arching right now? Vanguard's fighting in the trenches as Nildane is able to take a victory there. Meanwhile, utilizing the distraction, Pax tries to gain control of this tower. Klein and Flutterbug going at it here. But your Boomatron and Nildane able to come in and help out as CK holds the right tower. Over on the left side, Pax was able to make quite a bit of headway, quite a bit of progress there. Gross now fighting for his life. Oh, and it was in vain as he goes down. And Elite needs to recover. As well as... Oh, here we go. Rob ambushing around his best to get around Balrog's X-Axe swings with all that range. Speaking of, Quintero with the halberd. Marab finding himself alone on the left. But Indicud holding his ground very well. Switching back over to the right. Lots of back and forth on this one. That's how you know both teams are playing it right and playing their hearts out. Looks like... Yeah, looks like CK has really got that team switching advantage. Now holding down the right and making their way back over to the left as there's only 2.5 minutes left. Pax really needs to make a stand on one of these towers and ride it. But CK doing their very best to hold everything down. Really making them work for it. Pax finding it difficult to get any traction here. As 3 of them rush in to help out 1, taking on 3 over on the right side. But it's not enough. CK is able to get back in time. The communication, it looks like, is just too strong. And the respawns are just not working out. We had some crafty hiding going on here from Klein. Taking shelter behind one of these barricades, one of these manlets. And trying to find a good time to rush in and keep this one moving along. Meanwhile, CK thinning everybody out once again over on the pack side, over on the right. Oh, we had a surprise pickup there from Indicud and Tex. Trying to pick up their members and turning the tide over on the right side. With Flutterbug now being on their own and getting taken down by Marav, who seems to have switched to the polehammer. Very smart with so many knights. More of CK trying to sneak their way over. Meanwhile, the left totally unattended here. So we'll head over to the right, as it seems like this is the ones everyone's fighting. With 30 seconds left, it looks like it's going to be GG's for Pax. And CK locking down the victory for the first round of the losers bracket here. 10 seconds left. Pax doing their best to make one last impression. And that is going to do it for round 1. CK taking the victory here. Today in round 1, we had Kismet versus the Spartans, with the Spartans taking it. OPG versus Pax, with OPG taking it. Dominion versus Academy, with Academy taking the victory there. And Large Knights versus Dream Team, with Large Knights taking the win, finishing up round 1. Moving on to round 2 then was Plumbertown and the Spartans, with Plumbertown taking the victory there, and moving on to take on Silly Geese, who defeated OPG in round 2. And, of course, Academy taking on to the victory against Chiv Kartel, and Delirium winning against Large Knights to meet each other, Academy versus Delirium, in round 3. Losers bracket then filled out to Large Knights versus Kismet, Chiv Kartel versus Pax, OPG versus Dominion, Spartans versus Dream Team. Chiv Kartel won their match against Pax, Spartans won against Dream Team. It looks like OPG won against Dominion. But thank you guys so much for watching so far and enjoying Palestra Events Elite Series 7v7 Team Objective.
Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more from Palestra. Follow our links below and check out another video on screen now.